Check it out, guys. Just got to make a quick video about Goettl heat pumps. It's a name that was born and bred here in the Arizona desert. They were very reliable, probably almost so reliable that they just built themselves out of business. They were popular in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and then trailing on into the 90s. And now the name still exists because people know the name around here. So I'll click that here in a second, but just to give you a little review of it, you don't see a whole lot about it on the internet because it was mostly just here in Arizona as far as I know, because I think they were just built here. So of course if you scroll down, I just search old Goettl heat pump. Of course you just, here's my video. There's some pictures of them. It almost looks like one of my old pictures here in Arizona. HVAC talks, there's some talk about it. I found some pictures in one of my old folders here. This shows an old one. I can't remember if this was the 60s or 70s. This was something I posted on one of the HVAC talk websites a long time ago here under my original little handle there. Look at that. That is a condenser fan on the side that is belt driven. This was back in 2005. The sucker was still running. They had a home warranty at the time. So it had to be fixed or replaced flat rate by the company I was working for. So of course they were going to fix it because they weren't going to replace it. Look at this. It had a belt drive condenser fan motor. So they had some place fabricate a new bracket to hold that pulley. And the blower was direct drive. So that was really interesting that the blower was direct drive in the old thing, but the condenser fan was belt drive. These old capacitors, these were the ones that the PCBs do, that dreaded stuff that the EPA outlawed. That's why you still find those working, and they hardly ever explode like the ones you see nowadays. It had vibration dampeners. Looks like they were leaking real slowly in there. I mean, this stuff was probably mostly original from late 60s, early 70s, and was still hooked up and running in this thing. Hermetic compressor. I got this text on there. I don't know if I have any pictures without it. This was something I would use to share on a forum, but this is just a refrigeration compressor inside that sucker. Probably wasn't very high SEER. Had one slab coil in it. 40 years old. This was at 2005, so I guess it was older than older than the late 60s. 40 years old, and the service valves don't even have any corrosion because they're never opened. I don't know. Maybe those had been replaced and I didn't realize it, but it was an old unit. Maybe I forgot what the serial number came up with. And now, yeah, let's see. Controls. Controls were real simple back then. Look at that relay right there, huh? I guess. And then the contactor over here. That's the fan. It says fan right on it. Yeah. There's a picture without the text up there. There's the new bracket with the new bearings. Those are just bearings like off of an evap cooler. There's the shaft and the fan blade. They just measured it out and put it on there and put a belt on it, and it worked. I had to go back and fix the leak. That's right. Now I'm remembering. And then that's right. They said just get it going. The vibration damper was leaking. I'm trying to remember this. God, this is 10 years ago. And I just ran a piece of copper and just used soft copper, made like a turn so it would give it some movement as the compressor would rock this way on the mounts when it started or something. Can't remember. Look at that sucker. That's just crazy, huh? It actually held down real low on the micron gauge too. Yeah, so that old sucker. This is another Goettl. This is the real popular style from the 70s up into the late 80s. And they were famous to have this fan way up high in this grill here. A lot of people did these combo deals because ACs, heat pumps, were not efficient back then. So they had evap coolers ducted into the same thing and usually have a cookie heater or an automatic barometric damper between the two. So they share the same duct. A lot of cases back originally in Arizona, the desert here, it was just evap coolers, and then they added the ACs once people were able to start affording those. And that's why the old ductwork sucked, and the over and under style where the returns on the bottom and supplies on the top, that's why that was bred here in Arizona. There you go. These Goettls were almost all over and under style. This was another unit, probably in the late 80s, early 90s. So the controls were still had a mechanical defrost there with the sensing bulb plugged into the coil right there, and just a timer in there, and then a bunch of discrete relays for the fans, reversing valve, everything. There's a Puget contactor in it. This whole box would swing down on these two bolts right here. You could swing it down out of the way to get to everything in there. These suckers are built like tanks. They didn't even have an expansion valve. All they had between the two coils was a capillary tube, and it metered the same both ways because these were almost always heat pumps. And that part never failed. Basically, never had to replace the metering device on these old Goettls. I don't remember what I was doing here. This is just a folder I found. So it looks like I did something to fix a capacitor or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. I probably got some more somewhere else, but that's pretty much Goettl, just to give you a little look at what they were. And here it looks like somebody has a video of one. This was probably there into the 90s.
Here we have, I believe, is a Goettl air conditioner running. Down here
Still quieter than a Goodman, by the way.
Goettl, which I pronounce as Goettl, I assume. Air Conditioning Incorporated, Phoenix, Arizona. This is quite
Phoenix.
old. From the looks of it. One of these I've seen. The model number is HP362E.
Yep, got 310 there. So it doesn't show a whole lot else in there. Oh, Goettl repair. Oh, this is my video.
Good camera, just my phone today.
This is a long time ago with the old smartphone when they first were able to do video. So it's like what they call it, GP3 or 3GP video. It's not good quality. But antique that was on the rooftop of my uncle or my brother was renting. So I kind of rigged that one. Old Goettl part 2, that's mine. There's an old. So you're not going to see too many. See, that only a couple of them come up in all the searches. Not too many people have videos of Goettls. So if I had more time to look, to think about it, I would have found some more. But anyway, here you go. Goettl.com. Phoenix Air Conditioning, Package Air Conditioning. The name still exists. But here's the thing. What I do with the pictures here. Here's a recent unit. It says Goettl on it. Installed here in the Phoenix, Arizona area. Does this look familiar to some of you guys? This is not made by Goettl. This is a Goodman piece of shit with a Goettl logo put on it. Same thing with the outdoor units. I didn't get too many pictures here, and I took these pictures as I was driving by. But Goettl. So it says Goettl because they're using the Goettl name, which was a bulletproof unit when they were made here in Arizona for the desert by desert people. And these Texas-made piece of junk. No offense to Texas, but Goodmans. These are not Goettls. These never will hold a candle to Goettl, but yet here they are with the Goettl name. That's just an abomination, if you ask me. So here, when you go to the about Goettl Good Guys Air Conditioning. So now they just call themselves Goettl Good Guys, but it is Goettl.com. They did buy out the name. They're using the name. Yes, like I say, Goettl name has been recognized for excellence in heating and air conditioning installation and service since originally established by Gus and Adam Goettl since 1939. To see this is true. The bad thing is these people bought out that name and they're using this good name right here to install Goodman units and slap the Goettl name on it for recognition. That's utter bullshit. The legacy continues today with Goettl Good Guys. The legacy does not continue today with Goettl Good Guys. And no, I'm not trying to slander these guys, but I'm just saying the Goettl guys are not in business anymore. The units they made are not in production anymore. This is just a name being slapped onto Goodman brand turds. So that's why, they do say as doing business as, because they're not Goettl anymore. They're just using their name. Yeah, so I wish they would have shown pictures and stuff on their website, but they do not.